This episode is sponsored by Alberta Blue Cross and was created to help inspire discussions around the importance of taking care of your health, whether it be mental, physical, social, or even financial. We are proud to provide our Socality House team members with Alberta Blue Cross employee health benefits to help them live their best lives. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Socality Show. My name is Scott. I've got my guests here today, Irene Rudnyk and Garrett King, Short Stash. What a crew we have. We're going to have a great conversation. We're going to talk about social media and mental health. This is such a massive thing, especially we're all addicted to our phones. You know what I mean? We've all got the latest phones. You need the new phone. All the apps. We've got Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
I still have my
Twitter.
iPhone 12.
Whoa, Irene, are you even a real influencer?
OG.
Irene.
You at least have the wide angle camera though.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I don't even know what's on the iPhone 12.
But there's so many apps. Now you're telling me Pinterest has idea pin. YouTube Shorts. We're addicted to our phone. Mm-hmm. We're constantly on social media. I think it's a huge conversation about mental health and wellness and creating. And I mean, you guys are obviously active on many platforms, and this is the way we make our living. This is the way we connect with people. And so it's kind of like a love-hate relationship of like, how do I abandon or take a break from something that is also like my life source or even my community or my connection point? It's just like we're always on our phone, and it is causing like a mental health crisis where it's just like trying to connect, stay connected, disconnect. People are like, I'm going on a social media break. Have you ever taken a social media break, by the way? Like an official one?
Not.
Where you announce it?
So.
It's not a break unless you announce it.
I don't think
I've
so.
only done it just when it had to be done.
Right.
And it was just nice to be like, yeah, I've just been away and it's been on work, or like you're out of service for a certain amount of time. Mm-hmm. But it was never like, hey, I'm going to take a break. Like, right. I also don't think anyone cares. Yeah. Nor would I care to announce it. It's like if I was gone, it was for a reason. If people were like, oh, I didn't know you left. It's like,
I was like the people on Facebook, like, I'm taking a break. If you need me, message me. It's like
unfriend.
Yeah, it's like we never really needed your updates anyway.
Yeah, unfriend. Yeah.
I really wanted to know what you thought of the latest political thing. So good luck with the break.
Yeah. Have you ever taken a break like that?
No. I've never taken a break. I want to.
What's wrong with
I would
this?
love to take a break, you guys. I need a break. Same thing as you. When I'm out of service, it's like a forced break.
Yeah. Yes.
But you know what's funny is when I'm actually on a forced break out of service in multiple days, I don't even think about it.
No, yeah, exactly. It's great.
Same.
I don't even think about what is going on with the world or what's happening on Instagram or but the moment we're back in service, it's just like scrolling,
it's make sure you didn't miss anything.
What's happening? I got to stay up to date, or who said what, I got to post something. So it's funny when you're forced to do it. It's like you're living in this bliss land, but the moment we're back in service, it's just like notification central. Like this app Be Real. Okay, we're gonna get into stuff here, but this app Be Real are you on Be Real?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know exactly what's so real about it.
So basically it's this app, and I downloaded it, and I guess I didn't delete it, but I deleted it off my phone. Then I just signed in again yesterday. But basically, it notifies you, time to post your Be Real. You have 3 minutes left.
I've heard about it.
And then you got to take your phone wherever you are, and you take a photo. It takes a picture of you and then the screen from dual camera.
Yeah, I definitely would not be doing that.
And then people post this. But what's funny about it is the whole idea is to be real,
right?
But you're gonna be like, say you're like having a deep and meaningful, like you're talking to someone, you're in the midst of a deep conversation, you get a notification, time to be real, and you're like, okay, excuse me, hold off telling me your deepest, darkest thoughts, or thanks for pointing out your heart to me.
But imagine
I'm real, everybody.
Imagine I'm sitting on the couch in my pajamas and like watching Netflix. Like,
it's like
I definitely don't want to be real in that time.
It's you're
like,
talking.
I'm not posting
I'm
anything.
sorry. Break up a conversation.
Right. It's an interesting concept.
But I gotta be real. Like,
right.
But is it being real if someone tells you to stop what you're doing and share with the world what you're doing? Like, what's so real about like breaking from your reality and sharing it with the world? And then at times it says, time to be real. Like the whole idea, I get it. You're the anti-Instagram. You're the anti like curation, like presenting perfect. I understand that. but like with the time frame
But
of
you know
doing
that
it with such pressure.
All of these always turn into the same thing anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Because like Instagram used to be like that, but then it turned into what Instagram is now. And I feel like any app that tries to be like different then will turn into kind of the same
Totally.
thing.
Stories is meant to be in the moment, but then people film these beautiful stories.
The more people get on the app and like the more, you know, it just kind of ends being the same.
Yeah.
Like I took B-roll off my phone. I mean, I think I still, like I was saying, I still have it, but I took off all the notifications, which is the whole point of the app, because I kept getting notified all these people posted to be real. And that you can only see what they did if you post it. And I'm like, this is so annoying. I'm getting annoyed by.
So now you can only see it as blurry. So you have to post your B-reel to see what other people were doing.
So annoying. I'm just like, okay, this is just
Snapchat or something.
It's very distracting, and I'm just like, this is just annoying to me. And like, again, it's forced.
I'm not convinced
moments,
on it
and I'm
yet.
just like, I like the rawness of it.
Yeah.
But if you could get on there and just post whenever you wanted, of just like, there is no filters. You have to post front and back camera.
Yeah. Fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
But like, because no one cares to honestly see, like, half my B-reels were at my desk.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, or like I'm watching college football for once, or like I'm walking Mela, and it's like, people see that and they're just like, I mean, what is there to comment on? It's like, cool. I don't know. I didn't get that.
Awesome. Thanks for being real.
Great. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me.
What do we comment? Looking good. Looking good in the real time.
Like the incentivized raw concept of like putting that out there and organicness is, I get that, but to what degree of like, I can't see anything unless I put up a moment. It's like, what is this, a subscription page? Like I have to put money in the jar before I can see something.
I'm totally for like social media moving into direction of not being so manufactured and not everything being so super fake, you know. But at the same time, like the B-reel, it's almost like going too far into that, right?
I don't think it's gonna last. But we're talking here about social media and wellness, and there was this influencer. I'm going to play the video. Her name is Michaela. Do you know what the last name you know?
Oh.
We'll just call her Michaela.
It's hard to pronounce, I think.
Michaela,
the last
she
name.
went viral for this video. I'm going to show you guys here, and then we'll show everybody, and tell me what you think.
With a little bit of Caesar dressing. You know, I'm feeling like a fucking asshole today. So I'm going to clap back at people because I'm tired. I'm so tired. Every single day, I get up at 6 a.m.
Dude, her voice is what's going to get her nailed for this video.
No, people love her voice.
People love her.
It's her accent.
The Boston?
Yes. Yeah, people love her accent.
Then I have to work on my other social media profiles, whatever it may be, Instagram, whatever. It's fucking marketing.
So Boston.
Then I'm in meetings from 12 to 5. I literally just finished work and it's 5:19. Try being an influencer for a day. Try it. Because the people who say it's easy are so far out of their minds, try it for a day. It is not for everybody. In fact, it's for a very small handful of people who can actually do this job. Because it's absolutely fucking insane. You do not want to have this job. I'm just saying. All right.
There you go. So she's going viral because I can see her point, but she's going viral because she's got a lot of people following her. But she was just eating a salad, and she breaks down basically like, this is hard work, and the backlash on her page and people stitching it and sharing it has been crazy because they're like, in people's minds, they do not feel sorry for creators / influencers. They feel like you've got it good. And what she's trying to say is, I'm exhausted. So I see both sides. She's saying, I'm exhausted. This is hard work. I work hard. I create content. I put it on these platforms. And this is how I do my living. And I'm exhausted. And then she's like, basically admitting mental health problems, right? Like, I'm tired, I'm done. And then everyone's coming out and she's getting canceled. They're like, you've got it good, you've got it easy. Like, my question is, what's your take on this? Should we feel bad for influencers? Is she right? Is she wrong? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I see where people took some things that she said the way they took it, because I think she did say a few things that I personally don't agree with. But at the same time, I will say that she is a way bigger content creator than I am. How many, like, she has like millions.
Million, yeah.
No,
more. 13 million.
I think
13?
more,
I don't
actually.
even know who this shit
I think
is.
she actually has I think she has
She
more.
looks like no influence.
Let me
I've ever
just
seen in my life.
Seriously,
no,
seriously.
it's makeup. So you
Oh, okay.
It's
would
makeup.
not
I don't know who
know.
that is. She's
It's
like
makeup.
more of a comedian to me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
So I would say that she's probably the biggest.
Like the Boston accent. I was just like, what? I mean, she just seems like a random chick on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah.
Okay,
Like,
so
that's just funny.
she has 13 million followers
Right.
on TikTok.
Right.
But I would say that she's one of, if not the biggest content creator when it comes to makeup on
Right,
TikTok.
okay.
So she has a massive I mean, her videos get 5 million views
Wow.
like usually.
Wow.
So imagine that
Right.
kind of reach.
Right.
It's a huge
Right.
amount of people, right? So like with the bigger audience, you get more criticism, right? And so
Right.
then it might be harder. So I can't really truly talk on like how hard it is for her, right? But I will say that one thing I don't agree is she said that I wouldn't trust me, you don't want this job.
Try being an influencer for a day.
At the very end, she said, trust me, you do not want this job.
Okay,
Which
yeah.
I completely disagree with, because for me personally, this is like my dream job, what I'm
Right.
doing. It started for me as a passion for photography, and then passion for like making YouTube videos and teaching online. And I like, this is what I love doing. This is what I wake up and I'm like, I'm so happy to do this. Like, sure, it comes with a lot of things that are like sucky, you know what I mean? But this is the best thing for me. This is what I've dreamed of. This is like amazing. I get to do what I want. I get to create what I want, and I get paid. And you know, this job can be pretty lucrative too. So like, it's not like I'm a starving artist, just, you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a pretty damn good job.
But
So
it's hard work. To her
it is-
point, to her credit.
any job is hard work, in my
Right.
opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you work at McDonald's, there's hard work.
That's
you
it.
work anywhere, it's hard work, right? But
So you
saying
think-
that like,
yeah.
you trust
Okay.
me, you don't want this job is stupid, because everyone wants this job. Like,
Right.
let's be honest, people want to be influencers because it is a good job. Like, it is.
And to your point, the complaining of like it might be hard, but you're still doing what you love. You're doing what a lot of people want to do. So don't
Yes.
complain.
Like, she's had a massive success. There's to that TikTok, I saw a bunch of other TikToks of people stitching her, like opening all these designer bags. Like, she is making a lot of money. Like,
Okay.
she has made some big collaborations with big companies, like putting out her own makeup line. Like, that's
Oh, wow.
that's a very, very lucrative business. Like,
Right.
the markups on those like makeup
are
items,
huge. Yeah,
like,
yeah. Look
So
at Rihanna. Look
she
at Rihanna.
is-
She's not even singing anymore.
yeah, and it's very obvious. She shows her life online, so people know that she is doing really well. She's making a lot of money, and so to say that like, oh, trust me, like only very little amount of people would be able to do what I'm doing, and you don't want to do it because it's so hard. It's kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
like,
So that's where she went wrong.
in my opinion, she went a little bit too far with some things, and I understand that she was obviously angry.
Yeah.
Right. So like, we say things
She
when
was
we're
eating a
angry
salad.
that
She
we
was
don't really mean.
hangry.
I say things that I don't mean, or then I thought about, and I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that. So
Right.
I personally, I don't feel like angry at her or something. I definitely would not be the person to comment like, you're so entitled.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, whatever. But
yeah.
I see where people are coming from. And like you said, I also see her point.
Yeah. She's
as
tired.
well.
She needs a break.
Yes, she should have just taken that break and not
Yeah,
taken.
just-
That's actually something I learned a while ago through doing like social media and being like an online personality. All this stuff is that whenever I'm frustrated, I should just keep it to
away.
This
myself.
is the key.
And
Not
not-
everything needs to be shared online. Going back to be
Especially
real.
when you are angry, because
Yeah.
you are irrational and you do say things
Totally.
that you probably don't mean, and then you're gonna
Yep.
take but once you put on the internet, it's
Yep.
there. So usually now, if
Yep.
I am stressed, if I don't like something, whatever, I like take one day off,
Yep.
think about it,
24
and then I
hours,
decide
have
if
a
I
good
even want to
sleep,
share it. You know,
have
what
a
I mean?
good sleep,
Do
and
I
then
want to complain?
There's been things I've been upset about, and then I have a good sleep, and the next
Yeah.
day I'm like, it's actually not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
I feel better.
It's
And-
advice for everything.
yeah, it's true. It's true.
So like here, so that's great, like information, because I don't know who she is at all,
Mm-hmm.
right?
You're like, she's a comedian.
Just
to
like
me.
a Boston accent. I follow so many guys that have an accent. You know, they just talk
Yeah,
about that.
yeah,
It's really
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh. So anyway, that's like no disrespect to her, but I have a few thoughts. One, I think that I've done some pretty gnarly jobs growing up, and hard work, comes at different levels. I tarred parking lots when I was in like middle school, high school, in 90-degree weather from like 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it's like, that is a job that no one wants or should have. That job sucks. Okay.
Right.
I've like hand sanded. Like, I remember this one summer I hand sanded with sandpaper every single locker in every single middle school in Amarillo, Texas. And we're talking 15,000 lockers by hand.
Right.
And no AC in the schools all day, every day.
Yeah,
It's like, that is a job that no one would want. I can confidently tell. I don't know. But on the other end of that, I say that there is someone who would kill to have a job to do that exact horrible thing just so they can provide for their family or themselves. And I'm like, wow, who am I to like, why did I say that? Right. So anyway, that's not like a holier than thou speech. That's just perspective that I'm thinking of that. And I'm like, you're so blessed. No one knows the bottom of the iceberg.
Totally.
Right. So what she has to work with, the video editing, I mean, where she's gotten to where she is, building all that, I have no idea what that takes.
Right.
Just like she has no idea what it took for me to get to my career.
Right.
So no judgment at all. But the thing is, it's like you could do that job at home in the comfort of your own home, your own lighting set up. No one's really telling you what to do. Like, there's also so many benefits. Like modern day, like you don't have to go to college anymore.
Right.
You can become a billionaire overnight if you're smart enough to understand to tap into things. You don't even go to school.
Kids are rich.
I'm like, our parents grinded. My dad will probably never retire. And it's like some people I know will never be able to
worked.
Will work until they're dead. And it's like, that is not a thing anymore.
My dad's shocked. Like, he asked me like last year, he's like, Scott, like, what do you do? Like, I'm 45. He doesn't even have a clue.
It's like
how did you buy a house and how do you drive a car and how do you feed your family? He's like, what do you do? Because in their minds, like, you work.
You have to have a trade.
Yeah, you have a trade. You know, you go to work, you go, you save, you pay your bills, you do a job, and you have an employer.
Exactly.
And he's like, what do you do?
So, like, so I mean, to that point, that's what I was saying. There's, like, that's a horrible thing for, like, a comment. Again, don't reply online if you're going to be pissed.
Yeah.
You're warranting people coming after you. You just are, because there's so many crappy people out there. Someone's going to say something.
Someone's going to say something.
So don't do that too. It's like, don't assume anything from anyone else, acting like you don't want this job. It's like people would kill to have a fraction of what you like. That seems like a playground for anyone else.
Totally.
Though they don't understand it, or like the ins and outs of like doing photography, or say like you can go to hike 20 miles. People are like, oh, it must be nice to be a hiker and like National Geographic photographer. That's what you do. It's like, those guys don't have families. They don't have friends. They camp for weeks to get one shot. And they might not find it. And then they get $1,000 sometimes for the photo. These guys live out of trees and on tents, like in ground. It's like, what are you talking? Like, you don't know what it takes to get that. You know what I'm saying? It goes around for everyone.
100%.
Right? So my last thought would be like, if you are going to be assertive like that on TikTok, if there's anything I know about TikTok, is the worst platform for comments. People will rip you apart. It's like one person, the starting comment writes the narrative for how your whole life's about to play out.
Did you guys see that they've added now like a thumbs down?
They did. Why would you do that?
I'm just like, dude, for her to be like, you don't want this job. It's like, dude, you literally just put so much kerosene and gas into. I don't know how your whole neighborhood is not going to light on fire. By doing that, you have to understand that if you're going to want to play bat or go play ball, someone is about to swing it for the fences, and they're going to. You just tossed them a softball, and they're about to knock it out of the park, and then you get pissed, and it's like, that fuels your own fire to become so angry at your fan base that you should just let it. Also, if I couldn't imagine having an audience like that, that is so many people.
So much pressure.
That's so much
Quit
pressure.
caring.
Yeah.
You cannot care about everyone else, what they have to say and what they want to do.
I will say also this. So she is, you know how on TikTok you grow really fast, right? So
I
she's
did not
one
know
of
that.
We're still waiting for you to tick the talk.
Not anymore, but she's definitely, she picked up and grew extremely fast.
Right.
So she...
a lot has come her way in a very short time.
Yes, in a very, very short period of time. So I totally see how like that can be like, again, so much pressure, and some people are just not equipped to deal with it.
That's it.
Because me thinking like a few years ago when I didn't even have like a bigger audience like I have now, and even few comments were like hurtful to me. You know what I mean? Like even with a smaller audience, I've learned to not take it personally. I've learned to.
You've had time to grow into it.
Yes, I had exactly,
true.
and I feel like a lot of people, especially on TikTok, don't have the time to just.
No, you go from zero to hero, and all of a sudden you're an influencer, and you're like, I don't know what.
People are not equipped. No one's equipped for that.
No
one's a movie star.
No one's equipped.
That is one thing that I'll give to her, that a lot of people who don't create content don't understand
100%.
all of the mental that goes into it, and like the hardships that come with that. Like we talk about like burnout and constantly wanting to up yourself, right? Constantly create something better and better and better. Constantly try to go viral. And then you have all these people criticizing you and all this stuff.
It's too much too quick.
It's a lot,
too
right?
much too quick. And I hate to say it, but there are people out there that are waiting for you to fail.
100%.
They're waiting for it.
They can resonate more with that.
Totally.
Here's my thing is, I don't know if you guys, I remember Logic, the rapper, he said this on a comment a long time ago. He got off Instagram for years, and he retired. Now he's back. But I remember him talking on a podcast. He was like, dude, my mental state is so skewed right now because I love
people
what I do.
People are really hating on him
he was
for a
like,
long period of time.
But and they got mad at him because he retired. But he was like, I couldn't take the fact that he would let one negative thought control the narrative of his day. So he might drop an album and there's like 100,000 people like, this is so sick, man, I love it. And someone's like, this is whack.
Right.
And that's the one comment he would read out of millions of people that like his stuff. And he's like, it would just ruin him, right? When you shouldn't care. And so back to my other point of like, you have to understand and train your brain that you cannot please everyone, right? And like, I've been guilty before, like and people that say that if they don't feel like this are lying to themselves, but I'll be the one to say it. Like, I remember one time somebody, like all these people were commenting on my photo. This was years ago. I was like, oh, this is really cool. And this one guy was like, man, this is kind of weak. I don't even know who the kid. I'm like, you're weak, dog. Who is this? And I go click on his profile, and I'm like, I want to absolutely go through how weak your work is, right? Like, you're not even a real creative. I'm not just gonna bury you, right? But it's like, I don't know what context he said that.
Right?
Was he just trying to get a rile out of me? Was he just trying to be noticed?
Totally.
Was it a joke? You have no context, right?
You don't know tone.
But the fact that of how dangerous unassuming, I have no idea what the context was, how much like effect that had on me and how damaging that was for my self-esteem. I'm like, who cares about this kid? There's billions of people in the, like, why would I care what this one person thought? But you want to make everyone so happy and feel so validated by every single person. Like, yeah, isn't it great? One person's like, and you're like, who are you?
You're like, huh?
Yeah, you're not great. You suck.
Yeah, you
and
suck.
It's like, and it's like,
your instinct is to react to
you're
that.
just so defensive.
So defensive.
And it's like the growth period, as I've understood as an artist and like just as a human, none of us are perfect, but as you get older, how you have to absolutely slow your life down and rationalize what you're saying and doing now more than ever. And if you're going to do it online, I'm like, you have to think about having a PR person there to understand. Like, I'm not soft where I'm like, oh, I can't say anything because whatever.
Right.
You guys know me. I'm like, I will say how it is. But at the same time, like, you need to be careful because there could be backlash. And if you do say something and you're very aware of what you said, understand that when the backlash comes, you can't overreact because you warranted it.
Right.
Right. So when people do all this stuff, and again, I think TikTok is the absolute worst platform for comments. People are savages.
Well, because they want their comment to be
they just want to be viral,
to be the top.
And at someone's
notice me. If I can say the wittiest thing, I'll be at the top. It'll be the most liked. But I think one thing I think we're highlighting here is like, people comment on your stuff, but you really should the only comments you should really care about are the comments that come from people that care about you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If someone I'm close with brings me something, that's what I should care about. Because they carry weight in my life. Like, they know me, they walk with me, they talk with me, they journey with me. But some random on the internet that's just going to throw something my way because they want to cut me down. That's what I say. People are waiting for you to fail. Yeah. And they want to rejoice in that because it makes them feel good. But really, why should I care about someone's thought about me that actually doesn't even care about me at all?
Yeah.
You know? And I think this is where, like, mental health, it's like people that look or like go to social for validation, or, you know, can't take a break. It's like they just need to have like real life friends.
Yeah.
Like shut the phone off, go hang out with your friends, have a laugh, and be with people who actually care about you.
You know, unfortunately, it's always going to be there. That's what I've learned. There's always people, especially online, when you can hide behind, you know, like a empty profile, whatever, like a fake profile. You can say whatever outrageous thing you want to say. So it's just always going to happen. And
like these people, sometimes I think like these haters have Finstas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they come, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, they
And I'm
do.
like, is this somebody I know?
And
could
be.
Yeah, and
Could
they just
be.
created this account just so they could
be
mean to me, but in real life they're nice to me.
Yeah.
I'm like that. I'm like, who's out there?
That can definitely happen.
You know these people? It's like I've had some people comment some things. I'm like, there's only like 2 people in the world that know that. I'm like, I'm narrowing it down.
You know what I like to what I like to think about the not so nice comments that I get on my channel, on my page, whatever. I like to think that, wow, like I made it, you know, like I have haters.
Yeah.
You know, I have people who just like really, and you know, another funny thing is that a lot of them are actually secretly my fans because I've had the same people comment the same stuff over years. I've had recently a comment, a really funny one I posted on my story, and it was like, wow, after I've been watching your channel for like 7 years and you still suck. And I was like, thank you for watching my channel for like 7 years.
Why are they
That's
watching?
crazy.
Yeah, why are you still here?
But I was like, you know, he's watching and he's commenting, which is boosting my the algorithms, giving me some engagement, you know, so like we can have, so I like to think about it this way.
I mean,
you know?
it's true.
Congratulations, you played yourself, man.
It's like
that.
it is the comments that, you know, it's all the love, it's the hate that drive the algorithm, which is so crazy because
I'll tell you another one thing just so I remember.
No, this is good.
Another thing that I like to do that I've recently been doing is that if I do get a negative comment, I reply to them in a really nice way.
Right.
And then so it really depends, right? And depends on my mood. But I've done that before where someone said something bad and I would kind of reply of like, oh, like, I hope you're having a great day. Mm-hmm. Like, it's, you know, maybe you're in a bad mood or maybe something happened to you. Like, I hope you're actually having a great day. And if you have any questions, like, feel free, you can DM me. And like, a lot of the times they respond with something like, yeah, like, sorry, I didn't mean it actually that way. Like, it happens a lot.
Oh, wow.
People are psycho.
They are psycho.
So sometimes people also can be just, I don't know, they just say things without thinking. And when they realize that they're actually talking to an actual person, they like kind of change their mind. But yeah.
What do you guys do for like mental clarity then? Like, so you can't disconnect from the app. You're a creator. This is what you do. How do you refresh? Like, how do you break away and go like, I'm still connected to this world. I can't really disconnect. I got to post work. I've got ads coming up. I need to share a sponsored post. So shutting off is not really an option for me. What do you do to like get some clarity in your brain?
So, man, I had a buddy, my buddy Seth, recommend a book for me, and it was called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. And it just like rocked me. It was talking about, it has like a lot of like Christian metaphors in there and like analogies for stuff like that. But it hit everything on the dot of like why I'm in such a rush to do stuff or constantly distracted or always doing something or how's it going, Sky? Like, oh, just really busy, man. Just, you know, just been
Everyone's
busy.
always busy.
Yeah, and it's like, but how are you really doing? I know being busy is not good.
Busy isn't, like I didn't ask you if you're busy.
For
exactly.
Your life. And it's like, man, so I just had to really dig deep and read because I think that I'd say after I got out of like my last relationship like a year and a half ago or so when I was dating somebody and then I moved in a new spot and kind of started a whole new chapter for myself. And Cass, who I was living with, he moved in with his girlfriend. And so like I kind of started over, and it wasn't until I really had all this quiet time for myself that it was just so quiet on purpose. And it was just like, man. And I've read so many quotes where it's like, it's only when you're really alone where things start to arise, right? That could be people's demons. That could be clarity. That could be peace. You know, it's only when you're alone that you see these things, man. And it's like, am I truly happy? I look around and it's like I can afford to do anything I want to do. Really, I feel blessed that God's put me in this place for these people that I've met, my job, my family. I have a very healthy dog at an older age. Like it's like I have more than enough money. I can do these things, and I just feel so blessed. But at the same time, I feel so empty. And man, I really struggled with that for like 6 months or so. And I went to therapy and stuff. And I remember talking to my buddies, and I said, dude, and it's not the egotistical way to think about it, like, oh, it's lonely at the top. It's just lonely when you've done so much and you feel so accomplished with your friends being accomplished, and you've done all these things in your life that you're like, I just feel completely dark. I feel like I'm in a dark place, and I'm just alone. And you're not alone, but you just feel sunken.
You felt like this recently?
I'd say, yeah, like a year and a half ago
or
so. And I just felt like I didn't want to create much. I just was like, but the thing is reading these books, man, helped me understand that even though like you're not alone, because everyone feels this way. It's just not everyone's really vulnerable enough, especially in our creative community, to be like, I feel the same way.
Totally.
And so it's like, and especially on this podcast, like I will speak for everyone else that's going through something like that. But I felt like from the outside, you might see someone that has it all. What you inspire to be is very empty and alone. And the things that I wanted, I thought I could get, you thought you could buy, you thought you could experience. It was like, what are my core values that I need? It's my faith. It's my family. It's people that are close to me. What is important to me? Because I've tried to just attain it and I can't. So it's like, I need to draw it back and rein it back. Am I watching too much TV? Am I distracting myself with being busy? And that's what I was doing. I was always so busy, man. Busy doing what? Distracting. I was distracted. And so now I'm like, I am so distracted by my phone, by like, it's, you know, I always need to be, we all do. We all are so taken in, and we have to be, I'm trying to find the right word. Like we have to be amused and constantly, why? I don't know why I can't
like
find
entertained.
Yeah,
almost.
it's stimulated. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't think of it. Stimulated. It's like, this is not enough. Like I could be on my phone while I'm texting somebody, while I'm on Instagram, while I'm watching a movie, while I'm like petting my. It's like all these things. It's just like you're so distracted, you can't even be in one small moment, right? And it was just such a hard realization for me that when I was in therapy and I was talking to my therapist, that it was just like, I just feel broken, man. I don't know what I'm doing with my career. I don't know if I should still do in photography. Should I pursue something else? Should I like move? I have no idea. And it's like, I don't want to run away from something. I want to run to my problems and consume them in a healthy way that I can then help myself and other people around me. And my therapist was just like, you know, it's good that you need to understand all these things and also try new things, right? So I started dipping in more into like becoming a part-time like colorist for films, and like a new trade that I thought I was always passionate about. And, you know, highlighting certain parts of my life that I knew that I wanted to focus more on, and fitness and health, and like becoming a better cook and stuff like that would make me a healthier version of myself, reading more. And then the one thing that I knew, and I'll shut up, is the thing that helped me the most with my like mental clarity was, and I still struggle with this, is there's two parts. The first part is when I wake up in the morning, I do not look at my phone for the first hour. And so because, man, how many times I would wake up, immediately open social media and scroll just so my brain would get activated and you kind of will wake up, is the worst way you can wake up.
Right.
You're constantly thrown into this hectic environment of just like all this stuff and dopamine where you're just like, and you just see it. And that's how you wake your brain. Your whole day is scrambled. I don't look at emails. I don't look at texts. I don't do any of that when I wake up. It's still on Do Not Disturb because I have an alarm clock that I have in my bathroom. So I'll get up, turn it off, and then go make my coffee or water, walk Mela. If I have a podcast, I can hook it to my watch. I'll listen to it. Then I walk her outside. I like have, if I'm journaling, I'll do that. I'll have my like quiet time and read. And that slowness in the mornings changes everything for my day, because all that stuff will still be there no matter what. If someone called me or texted me and was like, so-and-so got in a car wreck and died, when you wake up and that's the first thing, everything is complete. I mean, that's a really crazy, that's like an extreme example. But if that happened, that's not going to depict the outcome if I saw it here in another hour.
Right.
That person has still passed away, and it is there's nothing I can do.
Right.
But my slow time with how I connected with myself might bring me into a better state of mind to where I can react with that once I've centered myself for the day. I'm not some guru, or like I don't meditate like I should. And I try really hard. I'm so distracted when I meditate. It is so hard for me to do so, to just like shut my thoughts off. Like some people have gone so good. I aim to try to be better.
Just practice.
Yeah, it's just, that's all they say is practice. It's okay for that stuff to happen.
Right.
So that's something that's been key for me. And then of course the other part is an hour before you go to bed, do not look at your phone.
Right.
That's the hardest one for me, because it's like last little minute tidbits of serotonin you can pump into your brain.
Right.
And that's why I don't get on TikTok hardly that much anymore, unless it's during the day, because at night is when you can stay in your bed for hours scrolling, hours.
I've been
done
there.
that
And your brain is so stimulated that when you try to go to sleep,
it's
you're still
terrible.
awake for hours after.
I always
that.
Well, it's 'cause,
regret
like,
it.
it's like 7-second episodes.
Yeah.
It's like,
I know.
it's just
I always
constant
regret it. I'm like, oh my god, it's
entertainment.
2 a.m. and I'm
Yeah.
still
I
meditating. I gotta go to
know.
sleep now.
That for me is
I
just,
know.
my takeaways would be finding like a good morning routine.
Yep.
And then like allot yourself some type of like quiet time to recharge, and then
Right.
just write that stuff down. But
Yeah.
I've been in a really broken place for a while, it seemed like, and I was just slowly finding answers for myself of what helped me get out of that. And it was being at home more. It was going to the gym. It was like reading more. It was having more intentional and purposeful conversations with my friends. Like, how's it going?
Right.
Good, man. What are you doing? Okay. Well, like, how's
Yeah.
everything going? How's
Yeah,
your
for
marriage
sure.
going? How are you feeling as a person? Like,
yeah.
what are some things that we all need
Yeah.
to talk about?
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
so that's helped me.
No, I think it's important because I remember someone saying one time that who you are is who you are is, I can't remember what the quote was, but you are who you really are when you're alone. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And people don't like to be alone because it's confronting,
Yeah.
because they have to deal with themselves. And they're like, I actually don't like myself. Or they're confronted with like their own thoughts. So we distract ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly like you're saying. If I watch the phone, if I'm calling people, if I'm posting on Instagram, if I'm, doing stories, I don't have to be alone with myself,
Yeah.
and I don't have to see who I really am. And I think that's part of the problem, because you actually have to know who you are. And being lonely and alone are two different things.
100%.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, I think a lot of people are what you said earlier, is they're lonely. And we assume that people like got a lot of friends, or,
Yeah.
oh, they got a lot of friends, they're good. But actually, I think a lot of people are more lonely than we realize.
I mean, like most content creators are like introverts.
Totally.
Right? Like you
Yeah.
ask any content creator, they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I hate crowds. I hate
Yeah.
because that's what you do. You like sit
Yeah.
alone and like create content. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Totally.
That's true.
Yeah. So definitely a lot. That's why a lot of content creators struggle with like what you just said.
And you got to be comfortable being alone, and, get in with your thoughts, or meditate, or read, or find that time where you're like, you know what I mean? Where you really just get comfortable being alone.
And unfortunately, I think what it takes for some people, especially like really, I call them seasoned, like creators or seasoned artists, or just anyone in life, honestly, who's just, I call it earning your stripes, or you've just gone through some stuff where it kind of takes you to crash and burn. Like my grandpa always told me, you can't keep rolling like thunder and not expect to crash like lightning at some point, where it made me reflect and be like, okay, I need to be real with myself. I need to be lonely. I need to be alone, and I need to be fine with that. Because the more that I feel like I need something else is just so scary and feel so empty, because that's not going to fill your cup.
Yeah.
What's going to fill your cup? You need to find that out, because it's not what you have in your hands.
Right.
It's in your mind. It's in your heart. It's the things that matter. And yeah, there are so many people that are introverts because of that. But like, what a dark, lonely place, because everyone assumes that you're in this like really happy environment when it's not the case at all.
Right.
But everyone's so scared to talk about that because they don't think it's a real thing until something happens. But for me, I'm glad that like I moved and I was alone to be able to dive into that stuff, because I could feel something coming on. I could feel that deep like patch in my life that I was like, and I talked to my buddies about it, and I said, I just feel like I'm fine. I just trying to figure out what that looks like. I just feel kind of lost in my career, in my life. Like I thought I'd be kind of like the person I thought I was going to maybe be with didn't end up happening, and kind of got the rug ripped out from underneath me. And it was just like, okay, I guess that's definitely not the path that my life was supposed to go. So something better is in store. I just got to have faith in that and do the work for it. So, yeah, I think it's creating those boundaries for yourself. It's definitely not putting a timer on social media. Like those don't work for me.
Yeah.
Like timing on your phone or like screen time.
That doesn't work for me.
None of that works for me, because I'll
No.
ignore it. I just don't do any of that.
Yeah.
I think it's just understanding that you have to work at it every single day to just put it away, concentrate on stuff. And it's 1% better each day. It's that whole, that tactic for me, because otherwise if you're trying to just change your life overnight, you'll get burned out from that. And it's so easy to resort back to just being addicted to your phone.
What do you do, Irene, for like some mental clarity?
So I would say what really helped me is actually realizing that the burnout is gonna happen. You know, like before I would, like if it would happen, I would be like, oh my God, like I failed. Like, what do I do now? Like, how do I get out of this? I'm never going to get out of this burnout, right? But now I know, because it happened multiple times, and it's just something that's going to happen. Like any creative person will have a burnout at some point, because like you said, you can't keep going. There's going to be a moment where you're going to crash. And then just figuring out what helps me. And two things that really help me is, first of all, again, taking time for myself. So doing something that's actually not content related, because I'm so used to like thinking like, okay, I'm going to go do a photo shoot. Might as well turn that into content. You know what I mean? I'm going to go shoot this. I have an idea. Might as well like turn it into content, because why not? So what helps me is actually doing something just for me without filming it, without having an idea that I have to show it to someone. Why not do a photo shoot just for myself? You know what I mean? And I've done it even with just like the most random stuff. Like I went and I rented out a macro lens, and I woke up 5 a.m. in the morning. There's this really nice field right by my house, and really early in the morning in the summertime, it's all foggy in the morning because it's kind of like dips down and there's a river there. So every morning it's like complete fog. So I woke up in the morning with this macro lens, and I went out there and I was just taking pictures of like spiders and flowers, but it was so peaceful and so fun. And it just like recharged me. I don't know, just like brought that like passion back in. So I love doing that kind of stuff. So just creating, still like being creative, but just without any pressure that it has to be good, that it has to be this, or people are going to see it. Just how I used to do it before anyone saw it, you know what I mean?
Before we had an audience.
Yeah,
do it for
because
yourself.
that's where you're the most creative. That's where you're the most authentic to yourself, and that's how I like to recharge.
Right.
And then another thing that I like to do is try something new. So I would just think of, okay, what is something that maybe I'm not that good at it, and I'm just gonna try it, like whatever. Like if I fail, I fail. If not, maybe I'll learn something new. So I, like during COVID when it just started, that's when I had that, like, you know, everyone was not feeling great. Everyone was kind of like sitting at home. I just started taking self-portraits, and I started just for fun, just by myself in my living room. I would just like put out all these lights and experiment with it. And I wasn't filming it at first. I then filmed a YouTube video after, because I did actually love like the result. But it started with me just doing it for fun, trying something new, because I was like, what else am I gonna do, right? So yeah, those are the two things that I do that are kind of like the creative things. And then finally, obviously, just doing things for yourself that don't have anything to do with the content, right? Hang out with your friends. I don't know, smoke some weed.
Edit that out. Moving on.
I can say it again. And then just like, you know, doing regular things like hanging out with your friends, and I don't know, watching a show.
Smoking weed. It's legal, but kids.
Just hanging out with your friends.
Just hang out with your friends. Hang out with your friends.
Do a bubble bath.
Bubble baths, they're huge.
You know what I do?
Bubble baths are back.
I have these lights. They're like disco lights.
You do
They're
not.
like legit disco
You do
lights.
not set lights up in the bath.
Yes, I turn off
What?
the light in the bathtub.
What?
I put some candles and the disco light, and I make myself like this bubble bath.
Yeah.
And I just
Galaxy.
like chill there. Yes, it's amazing.
Do you listen
Try
to Kenny G while you do it?
A who?
Michael.
Sexy saxophone.
Yeah, Kenny G.
Oh, like some.
Yeah,
I've never-
saxophone. You never heard of Kenny G?
It's about Christmas time.
It's like every mom loves baths with Kenny G playing. It's like the thing.
No,
Or Michael Bublé. Who do you put on? What's the music?
Bublé.
What Michael
Why Michael
Bublé and the Bubbles? Bubbles in the Bublé. What do you listen to with this?
Something very relaxing.
Like what?
There's this singer called Tenorel. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but
Okay.
it's like chill R&B
Okay.
kind of like,
All right,
you know,
all right.
a little, you know,
little
just like
vibey.
get in
Little
the
bubble bath,
mood.
disco balls, candles.
Yeah.
It sounds like a
Yes.
setup. It sounds like work.
I like doing. I
You
like
prep work
the
to
ritual.
chill.
I like the ritual of it all. You know.
All right. That's it's interesting. Yeah, I think it's everyone's got to find that space, that opportunity that allows them to shut off, escape, come out of those things that distract them, learn to be alone in a good way. But I too think just have a good network of friends that you can just like, you know, be real with, tell them what's going on inside of you. Don't take everything to social. Don't have it online. Not everything needs to be shared.
Yeah.
Just because it's happening doesn't mean it doesn't need a Facebook post. You know, find friends, find people that you trust that you can kind of just break down in front of and say, I'm having a hard day. You know, I'm kind of at the end of my rope, you know, or you know, like, just like you said, crash and burn. Like if you don't take a break will find you, you know? And so like, we're not meant to keep going. Like it's okay to like, you don't have to be everything to everybody. And I think it's important to find those things that refresh you, whether it be on a daily basis, a weekly basis. Find a good network of friends that you can just kind of be real with. And don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure to perform, the pressure to be perfect. No one's perfect. And so I think
And it's like, it's a constant struggle.
Constant
because, you know what I mean? We
struggle.
can say ourselves, like, let's
Totally.
not put so much pressure
I
on
know.
ourselves, but it's still going to happen.
Yeah.
So, like, we just got to deal with it as...
It's every day, man.
every
yeah,
day.
as much as we can. You
Every
know what I
day.
mean?
It's a journey. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation. You guys are awesome. I want to thank you again for joining. And everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit like and subscribe. You can enjoy the audio version of this podcast wherever you consume your podcast. We'll see you soon.